The Vergas Show is brought to you by Spanky Stone Hearth, casual fine dining on beautiful Rose Lake. Vergas State Bank, your locally owned community full-service bank. Vergas Event Center for gatherings large or small, including weddings. Vergas Liquor Store, where all the profits profit Vergas.
Make the right call. Call Hanson's, the most trusted name in plumbing and heating.
Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherri Hanson. Thanks for joining me. We're back at the Colosky farm. If you saw last week's segment, we're here on this beautiful, picturesque farm on this beautiful day. And I'm here with the Colosky family, 4 generations. Hopefully you saw that last week. We've got 4 generations living on this farm. And they just became a Century Farm. It's through the state of Minnesota State Fair Association, Farm Bureau. And by being a Century Farm, that means that you've been farming the same family for 100 years. And you have more than 50 acres and you're still actively farming. So that's pretty awesome, Donnie. Tell me a little bit about your farming. What happened? What was a normal day when you were a young boy and farming?
At least 12 to 15 hours, depends on if you were haying or harvesting and stuff like that. So you had plenty to do.
You had plenty to do. Did you come from a large family?
No.
No.
I'm the one and only.
Oh, okay. So you are an only child. I did not realize that. Yeah. Okay. And so who was your father? Your father was Ed?
No, Max.
Your father was Max. Your grandfather was Ed.
Yeah.
Okay. And so Max lived here on the farm and he was farming, and then it was up to you to take over, right?
Right.
Was it a choice, or was it just something you always wanted to do?
No, I knew that all my life.
That's what you wanted.
I'd be a farmer.
Okay.
Tried to be anyhow.
Right. And then you found a lovely wife, Dorothy.
Absolutely.
And who decided that she wanted to farm too, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And so she bought into that pretty easily, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And so then did Dorothy help you on the farm?
Yes.
What would her day look like when you guys would be farming?
She would always take care of cleaning up the milkers and stuff.
Oh, okay, sure. And so with the dairy farm like that.
Never no milking or nothing like that.
No, but
that's not for a lady.
Well, is that why none of those daughters of yours ended up in the barn?
Right.
So thankfully you had 2 sons. Did
right.
they have to do any of the chores?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. Well, what did the girls do?
I really don't know.
Well, I have it on good authority.
They were busy in school and stuff.
I realize. I'm just giving those daughters of yours a rough time because you have a beautiful family. You've got. I'm not going to put you on the spot here to name them, but I know you've got the daughters and Dave and Danny, your sons who took over. But the girls tell me that they had to be in the house because Mom was out in the barn helping clean up.
Absolutely.
And they had to take care of all the little ones.
Yeah.
And they had to do the cooking and the cleaning.
Yeah.
And so they were not going to be ones going into the barn. So it sounded like it was an agreement right starting off.
There wasn't much choice.
Oh, that's awesome. Donnie, tell me a little bit about, do you remember the tornado that went through this area?
Absolutely.
Tell me about that. What year was that?
66, wasn't it?
1969. Okay.
65.
65, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, it got just black and blue outside, and it only lasts less than a minute, and it's all over.
Okay.
And they laid this original barn.
It just got purple and pink to sky, and
green.
Then the barn tipped over, and the cows were in there.
Oh boy, was there any? Did any cows die?
8.
8 cows died.
Yeah.
And then where was your family at this time?
Down the basement.
Well, we run from the barn to the house. We was in the house.
Okay. That had to just be terrifying. That's not, you see the movies, Twister and things like that, but when it's real life, and you're saving your family and your livestock, that had to be terrible. So then what made you decide, I suppose there wasn't a choice, you rebuild that barn?
Yeah, well, we had insurance and it partly covered it.
Sure, and so then you just take over from that, yeah.
Hopefully.
I'm going to give you a break here and I'm going to talk to Dave for a minute.
Okay.
Dave, on the farming side of it, I mean, you started as a young boy, obviously, because your sisters didn't help out. I'm giving them a rough time here because I know all of the daughters. But your sisters didn't, yeah, okay. And tell me how it's changed some for you.
Well, I mean,
What you saw at the beginning when you were still a young boy.
well, we did all square bales then, which was all labor.
Sure.
Now we just make a few every year to sell to horse people, and that part's gotten so much easier. I mean, just roll up the bales, and it's all mechanical, you know.
Yeah.
And you got nice trailers and pickups to haul them now, so it's fun haying now.
Yeah.
They just sit in the tractor all day and
Air conditioned in the tractor.
one of them is.
Yeah.
We still have 55-year-old tractors we run every day,
Okay.
and they work real good.
Yeah. You know that's it. It's the older ones
Yeah,
that
just maintain them, and they've done good. Yeah, but that's the biggest change for me, I'd say. And plus, we put in pipeline milking
Okay.
instead of buckets. That just goes automatic from the cow into the tank, no lifting, and that was nice, really nice.
You know, thankfully, technology and things, you know, helped you create an easier way to
Otherwise,
process it. It's just which the prices had stayed with it, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's the big thing.
Yeah, it
But
is.
right now, beef prices are higher than they've ever been. They're
Yeah,
just
yeah, they
wonderful.
are.
Wonderful.
And so, how do you see farming down the road? Okay, I mean,
Well,
you and I, we're going to be at that age, you know,
Yeah.
where we're sitting here talking about the good old times.
Well, me and Dylan
we're already there.
watch a lot of YouTube, and the technology already is just beyond me. I mean, you know, don't need a person in a tractor, you know, and drones fly over your farm and see where your weeds are and spray or whatever. And I even saw a drone that will take a picture of your rocks in your field, your big ones, and make a map for you, and you can go out there and it shows you where to pick where your rocks are. Yeah. No, but
Did you ever think you'd see that?
but yeah, it's beyond me, but yeah, it's just going to keep on going. I think.
It's going to keep on
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
So the small family farms,
It's tough.
it's
gonna
tough,
be tough,
isn't it?
Yeah.
And so you do have to kind of diversify.
Yeah, you have to diversify.
And
yeah.
you have to
Can't just stick
understand
on
what
one
does.
thing. Well, like Austin works out, you know, because the prices aren't good all the time, you know. So you got to have multiple sources of income. It's,
Right.
You
And
know.
that's just yeah.
I mean, I love dairying, but there just was no money in it. And plus, I was starting to wear out. I broke my ankle a year before we sold the cows, and that was kind of the deciding factor, you know.
Well, and that's another thing that isn't talked about a lot is the wear and tear on your body.
Right?
Yeah, I mean it is
tough
it is
on the
just
knees and the legs, you know. Yeah, hips. Yeah.
hard physical work.
Yeah.
And so, but would you have done it any different?
No, I loved it.
Yeah, love being able to raise a family here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's perfect. Well, Donnie, talking about rocks,
Rock.
tell me about rock in your field.
Where there's rock, there's good soil.
Well, that's true, but
Absolutely,
did you
I
do a
guarantee
lot
it.
of rock picking?
No.
No, yeah, the rocks in this area.
But nowadays they got them pickers, so it ain't so bad.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you got your daughters out there to pick rock, I bet.
that's a big joke.
I'm really giving them a rough time, aren't I?
Catch it.
Yeah, and so, Donnie, Dave says it was the best place to raise a family. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what would your advice be if you were going to, if somebody came up to you today and took a chair next to you and said, hey, I'm going to start farming. What do you think, Donnie? What would you tell them? Starting scratch.
Well, you gotta like it, and then it'll work for you.
Well, and you got to be willing to put in the hours.
Yeah.
But the other thing is there's what you have going for you is continuous family carrying on,
Yeah,
right? And
right.
so it's those newcomers that might have a little bit of hard time. So that's why it's just so important that you saw that, you know, this was with a family farm that was given to me. I worked for it, obviously, but I want my son to have that. And then now Dave
Absolutely.
sees that next, yeah. And so if you were going to end your day after a long day of farming, Donnie, how does that look?
Well, you gotta know this.
Okay.
You're gonna have that. On the farm, there's work to do.
Right.
Period.
Yeah, there's always work to do, but at the end of the day, when you're done, are you able to rest and just say, okay, I'm done for the day?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then, and I know another thing.
You gotta work and play. You can't work all the time.
No, you can't work all the time. Yeah, you got to have some play in there too. And
Abs-
that's where my next question comes to is your neighbors. That's a big part of farming, isn't it?
Best neighbors you ever could get.
Yeah. And then not only do they visit, but if something comes up, they're willing to help you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everyone. Yep.
And that's what I love about farming. Yeah, I think it's just the neighborhood of it yes, you have your family, your nuclear cell of your family, but it goes much beyond that with all the neighbors.
You bet.
Yeah. Well, Donnie, I can't thank you enough for letting me come out to your beautiful farm here, talking to you for a little bit. Do you have some wise words of wisdom as we close here?
Well, not really.
Not really? I can't believe that.
I enjoy the farm, period.
Yeah, and that's all that there is to it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's good. And how about you, Dave? Thanks so much for bringing us out here.
No, it was fun. I'm glad you came out. It was fun to talk about it.
It is.
Yeah.
It's you need to celebrate. What your
It's a big
accomplishments have been, and because as Donnie said right away, it's not always easy.
Oh no,
No,
that's right.
but it's
Just gotta keep on going.
But it's a great way to spend your life.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Century Farm, Colosky's. Be sure and stop out and have coffee with Donnie someday. I bet he's got more stories to share with you. And so thank you for joining us. You have a good day in Vergas.